Welcome back to Matchbox Revival. Today I'm doing the 7 series, the 7A milk float. It started in 1954 and carried through for 7 years to 1961, where it was taken over by the Ford Anglia. The Anglia went until 1967, where it was taken over by the refuse truck. This carried on, got super fast wheels, and carried on into the 70s. Now, the milk float. I recently purchased off a friend up in Hamilton this collector series from 1993, which has a completed milk float and what it's supposed to look like. So, if you compare the two, he's got a head, a horse, and the arms that hold the horse in place. I don't know what you call them. So I'm going to have to do a bit of work on this one. Now, researching the head portion of it, I looked at some replacement parts, and the best match I could get was from a dump truck. I think the A4, I think it was 4A dump truck. And I think if I shape his head a bit better, flatten the hat down with a file, and the plan will be to cut the body off, make a long extended neck, drill a hole through the top, and set the head down inside and give this guy a head back. That'll be that portion of it. And the second portion of it will be to install the arms that hold the horse. And now these came as a replacement part as well. They're made of like lead, so they're very soft. So I'm going to line the bottom of it with a JB weld. And I also noticed in the original castings it was rounded in the bottom as opposed to being flat. So the plan is to grind out there as much as I can, glue it into place, and then paint and set the horse in. And hopefully we get a nice model at the end. Looking forward to the build. Oh, special shout out to Jay out in Milton, who actually gave me this model. I was up seeing him picking out some stuff that he had, and he had this one kicking around and he gave it to me. So Jay, thanks very much. So this model had flattened axles, one of the earlier designs. So what I plan on doing is just squeezing back the axle as much as I can, trying to get it round enough to get the wheels off. And I'll also maybe grind them a little bit with the grinding stone as well. Hopefully they can be reused. So as you can see, the arms are broken off. So I want to take a look at the overall thickness of the finished piece, which is 1.4 millimeters, and this piece here is 0.9 millimeters. So I think if I grind down half of this surface across the bottom and then glue it into place, it'll look very close to the factory thickness. So we start off by filing. And sanding across the bottom. Sanding the bottom here, trying to get this down. I noticed I was nicking the letters across the back here, so I'm going to protect them with some tape, and then when I file, I won't hit them. As you can see, it's slowly getting down. And it's still very strong to support the piece that I'm going to glue on. So I'll take it down a little bit more and then we'll glue that piece in place. So if you remember my original measurement, it was 1.4. Now we can see where we're at now with the two metals together. 1.7. So we're getting close. I'll take a little tiny bit more off. So the next stage will be to put a head on the driver. What I'm going to do is, I have this bit for the Dremel, and I'm going to try and make a dimple in the center of it, and then I'll be able to drill down into that dimple, and then I'll try and make a neck that'll slide into that hole and cut the body off this guy. So the next thing I'm going to do is color match the model before I get too far along. So I'm going to be using X6 and X7, and if I go past it, I'll put a little X2 to come back on it. And my little dollar store container again, and we'll start out with a little bit of orange. So I gave it about 20 drops of red, and then the color came in around here, not dirty enough. I added 2 drops of brown, X9, and this is where we are now, right there. So I like the color, and we're going to go with it. The white will just be standard white, probably with a drop of yellow in it just to age it. This particular model came rare, the body in silver, but the wheels had to be plastic. So into my container and marked for future 7A. So into the paint stripper. So while the paint stripper is working, this is the supports for the horse, the arms off the buggy, but they're made in cast aluminum, they seem like, and they're very weak. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up some JB Weld. So it's a 50-50 mix, and I'm going to line the bottom of the posts. Give it a good mix. This particular one sets in 4 to 5 minutes with the yellow. There's also a red that I think sets overnight. Takes a lot longer. So the plan is to line the bottom of it and give it some strength. And I can sand it off round after. So I took the model out of the paint stripper and it wasn't working very well, and I hit it with caustic soda. I wish I had videoed it for you. That stuff is unreal. My next video, I will definitely post it up there for you guys to see. it went hot, boiled, sizzled, and it just ate the paint right off of it in seconds. Anyhow, now I will clean it and start assembling it. I want to make sure that I don't wear out the writing. I want to make sure that's well detailed. Pasteurized milk. And the milk bottle lids as well. So I'll take my time cleaning it. So now it's time to glue some of these pieces together. I sanded and got everything prepped with that rounded bottoms to make it more like the factory. And that will get glued into place. There's the head, the little piece of neck, and I'm going to glue it into place. He got a little tilt to his head, but I think he was making a left-hand turn. What do you think? So I scratched some lines into the top of it with a dental tool just to give the glue something to grab. And then I'm going to use a little bit of a thicker super glue that I got at the local hobby store, and so everything's glued up and just needs some sanding, and it'll be ready for priming. So while the primer's drying, I'm just going to clean up the axles a little bit. Just going to try and give them a little polish. They're not too bad. And give the wheels a little polishing. You can actually, with the metal wheels, you can put quite a shine on them. So I just like to go lightly on them just to clean them up. So everything's all primed, looks great. Amazing how that detail comes out. Let's start out with some brown for the horse. And now for a little orange. For the pasteurized milk letters, I just put a little bit of paint on a toothpick and just rub it lightly on the letters. So I'm going to attach the wheels now. Always picking the best side of the wheels. And now these were crimped axles. So again, what I'll do is I'll try and find the way they were squeezed in the factory and do the same thing again. To attach the horse, try and separate the bars a little bit, and I think I'll come from the bottom. And there you have it, the 7A milk float.